Have you ever been in a situation where you're asking yourself, who am I really deep inside? How can you build very deep connections with people almost instantly? How can you understand people on a deep level to know exactly their trigger points and how to trigger those points? This is exactly what we're going to be discussing today. If we're seeing each other for the first time, I'm Dr. Joe, and is going to be joining me my friend Daniel Tolson. We're going to be discuss this topic to the bits and help you take that into your advantage and create a powerful year 2021. Let me welcome my friend here, Daniel, joining me live. Thank you.
Joe, wow, what a way to start off the first show for 2021, and this is a very important topic. The Greeks have been saying for 2,000 years, know thyself. And so how do you know yourself? Who are you? What do you do well? What value do you bring to every situation? And businesses have business strategic plans, and we have to have a personal strategic plan for success in 2021. And knowing who you are is foundational to those success. So what can we learn about this today, Joe?
Well, this is a very, very good question. And I guess having to discuss this together sets us already on the right path. Majority of the people, and I ask a lot of people, comes back to awareness, their level of intelligence. And I ask them, do you really know who you are? And the standard answer, Daniel, is yes, of course. What are you going to think? You're going to tell me who I am? I have been living with myself for 30 years, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years. And then I say, all right, well, let me ask you a question. What type of learner are you? Are you a visual learner? Are you auditory learner? Are you a kinesthetic learner? They can't answer that question. I say, all right, let me ask you another question. In terms of the DISC profile, what are your mixes in terms of your personality? Okay. What are your very, very strong failure points or things that really scare you that you feel that you didn't manage to overcome? They couldn't answer that. So I say, it looks like I need to introduce you to yourself. With psychology and NLP, this is the time and this is the way I'm going to introduce you to yourself, because once you know yourself, then you can really create that deep connection with someone else. But you first have to start with yourself. So these are very, very funny intro, Dan, that I really come across. And by the way, these conversations is coming with people that are 50, 60, 40. Age is not really a difference. So I don't want people to think that I'm asking these kind of questions to someone who's 13 or 14 years old that's still kind of growing up.
I agree. I agree. One of the things that I see with people with high level of self-awareness is that when you look at them, these people, they show confidence. And so what about you? When you're out there meeting people, do you look confident? When you're getting up and presenting in front of your peers, do you look confident? And so I always see confidence when I see somebody who knows themselves, I see confidence. I also hear a lot of certainty in their voice. And when they talk with certainty. They are sure about who they are and what they do really well. But on the flip side, when people are struggling to know who they are, I see a lot of confusion. They balk. They start things and they stop things. They have dreams and aspirations, but they don't take action on them. And the thing I also hear with people with low self-awareness is they're constantly doubting themselves. You can hear it in their voice. They say, I don't know if I can do this. I think others can do it, but I don't know about me. And you can hear it in the voice. So what about you? What are your strengths? What do you do best? What are those blind spots? What holds you back? And I've got a great client in the UK, and he says, it's not what you know that hurts you. It's what you don't know. And I think coming into 2021 and launching strong, because it's the 4th of January, we've got to get crystal clear on our strengths. And I think that's quite easy to do because we're all proud of our strengths. We've also got to identify those weaknesses. And there's a lot of shame around weaknesses, but they're nothing to be embarrassed about. There should be no shame if you identify them. There's a lot of shame if you don't know what they are, because that's what creates that confusion, in my opinion.
Entirely agree, Dan. And the thing that people need to really think about, and in terms of opening up, and hello to the people that are joining us. Thank you so much for sharing this live stream and for your likes, for your support. And of course, hello, Hamide and Melanie. And for those people who are joining us later. Your participation, your likes and support and shares for these lives is really appreciated. And yeah, we do thank you for spreading the knowledge. Getting into this part then, though 2021, as we're moving through things and really digging deep here, there is nothing wrong with having a weakness, but it is all the wrong in the world is not doing anything about that weakness. And I guess what I really want to do is that there is down under somewhere hidden is the procrastination.
Mm.
They know, okay, I have a problem here. I'm a little bit overweight. I don't feel excellent doing this. And these are all indications that are giving you an indication. If you're not feeling energetic about this is probably not the thing for you. It doesn't mean that you're lazy. You're just not selecting the right thing. So then what happened with me is there was one of the people that I met on TikTok, and I've raised the question. I said, if you wanted help, I do have my own programs. I do have my own coaching. Email me and I'll help you. So there was this group that came to me and they said, they were actually young guys, I think 22. They were from Europe, from the Iceland, Scandinavian side, so without going into the countries. And then they said, look, we have been trialing a few things. We love your videos, but we're not really sure how can we go to which career. And interestingly, I'm sharing this story with you because there was some of them that were not certain whether to be engineers, mechanical engineers on a aircraft, or actual air crew support, right? So I straight away thought this is really interesting. So I told them, all right, well, if you email me, we have assessments. You'll pay for those assessments. I'll tell you exactly what kind of career suits you that you can see yourself doing for the rest of your life. Again, it will be suggestions based on your personality traits, because you really need to know who you really are deep inside, not to the surface. You got to really dig deep inside to see, and you don't have to arrive at the age that I meet some people then at their 60s, 70s. One of them was Phil, who was leading the youth camps. At his age, at 70 years old, when I met him, he said, Joe, what I learned about myself in this week, in this program with you, I haven't learned about myself for the last 70 years. I don't want you to be in that situation. He put tears in my eyes. I actually had that on video on YouTube. But beside that point, I don't want people to be at the stage of their life, they're 60 or 70 or 80, and then realizing, well, I have been going in the wrong direction all this life. This is why we want to divert people to go to the right track. And sometimes you don't need to do it all by yourself. You need to do it with other people that are exploring it as well. And you can share with us as well then from your side as well.
Well, self-awareness, it's a major part of emotional intelligence. And just so everybody understands where it fits into emotional intelligence, is that emotional intelligence has 5 key pillars. And we can see on the left-hand side on the screen here is that self-awareness is the first pillar of emotional intelligence. And we say that self-awareness is your ability to understand why you think and why you feel the way that you do. And it's probably the most important pillar of emotional intelligence, because if you don't have high levels of self-awareness, you don't know what your strengths and your weaknesses are. If you have a weakness and you can't manage it or regulate it, then you can't do anything else that follows. And so as it cascades down, self-awareness impacts your self-regulation. Your self-regulation impacts your motivation. Your motivation impacts your empathy, and it also impacts your social skills. So getting right back to that very first pillar of emotional intelligence, self-awareness is absolutely critical for everything that follows. And so getting that deeper level of clarity around who we are and why we think and feel the way that we do is essential. And yes, you can do it at 70. Yes, you can. But why wait? Why spend 30 or 40 years struggling when you can do it now, and then you can be one of those 1% of people who actually succeed? And so the numbers are quite interesting, Joe. You know, just
It is.
over the weekend, I was training some of my clients. And one of the things with emotional intelligence, self-awareness, it's going to be a critical skill for 2021. And as that job market tightens up, as the economy tightens up, it's going to be those people who have the highest level of awareness that keep their jobs. Don't be mistaken. Every company releases the low performers before they release the high performers.
That's
And
right.
high performers always have higher levels of emotional intelligence. And we know this statistically.
Yes, and it's always in demand, and bringing that into action, it is really, really the one thing that every single organization, company, government, public service, whatever you want to call it, look for. Someone that can work. Guys, I want to tell you one thing, just to understand the terminology. When you see job advertisements saying we're looking for a team player, we're looking for someone that can troubleshoot, what the people are not really telling you in those ads that you see on Seek or Career One or whatever website for particular job that is, they are actually trying to signify a particular area of emotional intelligence, but they're not really saying the word. They're not telling you exactly that. When you go to, for example, if you're in Australia, if you go to New South Wales and apply for any public service jobs with the government, you will see the New South Wales Capability Framework. Check that out, search it in Google, and look at the capability. What is it exactly that they're looking for? They are dissecting emotional intelligence into certain parts. And I want to ask you a question here. If you're watching later on, I would love to hear your answer before you hear it from me. And then might participate as well in this question. It's a very, very interesting question. I asked this question in about 30 to maybe 34 places before. And the question is simple. Would you rather be known for your intelligence because you have IQ that maybe nobody knows about it, just you, like, okay, I am intelligent, I scored that level in IQ test, okay, but nobody knows? Or would you rather be at a high level of emotional intelligence where everybody around you and the people that meet you and so on and so forth, they actually know that you are intelligent? Which choice would you personally prefer? Now, I do know the answer for majority of the people, but it's always nice to hear it from you. Basically, what that really means, that you asking yourself that question: do I really want to be known for being intelligent generally around me, that people know I'm intelligent, or I just know that I'm intelligent just for myself and nobody else knows? What do you think your answer will be?
Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and post your response up in the chat box. We'd love to hear from you. And what we're going to be doing this year is we're going to be bringing you a lot of value each and every week. Joe and I have a hidden agenda for you. It's to make you rich. It's not just rich financially, but we want you to have rich opportunities. We
That's
want you
right.
to have the best jobs, the best careers, the best relationships. We want you to have the best relationship with yourself. And throughout the year, we're going to bring you the best ideas for you to be able to accelerate and multiply your results. And it really starts by answering this question: what do you want to be known for? I know what I want to be known for, but do you know what you want to be known for? So, Joe, emotional competencies, team player, empathy, so important. One of the things we have to be able to do as leaders as well is read the emotional makeup of other people. And I was reading some reports not long ago, and it said that 50% of employees will fire their boss if the boss
Mm,
does not have empathy. If the boss
mm,
doesn't understand why they think and feel the way that they do, they're going to
mhm,
fire the boss. Most people will fire the boss or the leader before they actually
mm.
leave the company, which is quite interesting. I spent a day training Melanie Shim on Saturday. Great to see you there, Melanie. I want people to know so I am able to negotiate with people and have them listen to me.
Right.
Absolutely, absolutely important. One of the things here, Melanie, with emotional intelligence, the more accurate and acute you are in the area of social awareness, which is empathy, the better it
Mm,
is to read other people. Once you can
mhm,
read other people, you have better social regulation skills, which are your social skills.
mhm.
However, first things first, how do you have higher levels of social awareness? You've got to increase your own levels of self awareness first of all. And so the self awareness is a prerequisite. And it's like
Absolutely.
trying to give something you don't have. If you don't
Mm,
understand and have empathy for yourself, then you can't have empathy for others. So
Hmm.
you got to have one before the other. So Melanie says, glad to have attended the session. Thank you so much. Well, you did amazing, sweetheart. You've done very well. So Joe, it's we've just hit 15 minutes, and
Yep.
we want to be short, sharp, and sweet.
Yep.
What's the final takeaway? What do you want our friends to be thinking about over the next week until we come back, same time, same place, next Monday?
Right. So quickly, I just want to congratulate Melanie. Thank you so much and well done. Your answer is correct. Majority of the people that are mentally stable, they will select the answer that I want to be known for my intelligence, or basically emotional intelligence, not just to have IQ that nobody knows about, because we like people that are kind of like ourselves, and this is the matching point. So we're keeping it short, then from now on, keeping it short to the point. The final
Punchy.
takeaway. Final takeaway. What is the final takeaway? Number one thing, if you really want to get to know who you really are and how to navigate through these ones, me and Daniel here, we have assessments for you that you need to go through. You don't have to do this yourself. You can do it with a group, and we do it together, and you can measure yourself where you were, where you are. And moving on from here, the next step, we can walk you through step by step with the group and so on. And then is with you, with me, well, probably of a surprise for 2021, but we're really gonna drill this down.
100%. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been lovely to spend the afternoon with you. Daniel Spear, thanks for joining us there. And we will see you next Monday, 3 p.m. Taiwan, 6 p.m. Sydney. And one more before we go. Writer, good to see you there as well. And we will see you next week. Joe, always good to see you. And I'll see you shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, have a wonderful day. Ciao for now.
Take care. Ciao.